What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we're finishing out the 2024 Summer Scouting Series with our preseason top 50 prospects. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is our first list. It's 50 through 36. Starting out with Florida State wide receiver Keon Coleman. Then we've got Bryce Foster, the interior offensive lineman center from Texas A&M. Chris Abrams-Draine, cornerback from Missouri. You remember he wasn't on our top 5 corners list. He was a guy that I just left off because I wanted to get Jason Marshall Jr. in here. Exciting guy. He snuck into this top 50. Then we have Javion Cohen, the interior offensive lineman from Miami. We have Jerzane Newton, the interior defensive lineman from Illinois, the freak athlete that just has to kind of contain himself a little bit. Christian Haynes, the guard from UConn, again, a super athlete, a mauler. Let's see if he can get the technique down. Bo Nix, QB from Oregon, playmaker, Baker Mayfield-styled guy. Then at 43, we have Tommy Eichenberg, the linebacker from Ohio State. 42, Donovan Edwards, running back from Michigan, the only Michigan running back that we have on our top 50 list. Then we have Rome Odunze, the wide receiver from Washington, who's going to be pairing up with Michael Penix. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name this year, and I think he's going to have a great year. Jalen Catalon, the safety from Texas. He actually transferred to Texas. I have him as Arkansas on here, but someone in the comment section did tell me that it was Texas. At 39, we have Jason Marshall Jr., the cornerback from Florida. He's the one that I put in over Chris Abrams-Draine, who we have at 48. Then at 38, we have Jaheim Bell, the tight end from Florida State. Again, he's not just a tight end. He's more of an H-back. He plays some running back. He's a versatile offensive weapon. We have him at 38, and honestly, that might be a little too low. I really like Jaheim Bell. Then at 37, we have Omar Speights, the linebacker from Oregon State that transferred to LSU. Then we have Raheem Rocket Sanders, the running back from Arkansas. Remember, a big body running back. He's like 6'2", 230 pounds. Kind of think of Derrick Henry. He just doesn't use his body like Derrick Henry does. He needs to start using it a little bit more, and he'll shoot up this draft board. All right. Now we're going to the next page. We got 35 through 21. This is Jack Sawyer, the edge from Ohio State. Super good bender on this one. Then you have Talik Williams, the interior defensive lineman from Ohio State. Back-to-back Ohio State guys here. Remember, Talik Williams is that freak of nature that can play all throughout the line. He goes from 5 technique / edge a little bit. He's a big edge. He's like 275 pounds. But he's strong enough where he can go down the line to probably about a 2-eye. So very far inside on that defensive line. Then we got back-to-back Florida State picks with Fabian Lovett, the interior defensive lineman, the veteran interior defensive lineman from Florida State. He's got a versatile pass rush move. He knows what he wants to do. Not super reliable in the run, though. And then Trey Benson, running back from Florida State, who honestly, I thought I was the only guy that loved this guy. But then listening to PFF, I don't remember if it's Trevor who was saying it or Ben on the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. But, man, one of them loves Trey Benson, has him as the number 1 running back. So I'm excited to watch him this year. He's probably one of my favorite running backs to watch. Let's see if he can shoot up the board. All right, at 31, I knew these guys were coming, so I'm hoping that I cannot mess up their names. Zion Tapula Fatu. Zion Tapula Fatu, edge rusher from Washington. One of the most versatile pass rush packages in all of the draft this year. Then we got safety from USC, Caleb Bullock. Malik Moore, cornerback from Alabama. You remember he's the best nickel defender in the entire class. We got Cooper Beebe, the interior offensive lineman from Kansas State. He was a tackle, left tackle. He's moving inside to guard. He's an elite pass blocker. I don't really think he has the footwork to stay out at tackle, but he didn't give up any sacks last year. Then you have Kingsley Suamatea. Yes, Kingsley Suamatea, the offensive tackle from BYU, a freak of nature. He's super big, super athletic, and super strong. He just has to hone it in. I got him at 27. Then Braylon Allen, running back from Wisconsin. He's an old school running back. He's 6'2", 240 pounds. And unlike what we were just talking about with Raheem Rocket Sanders, he uses his weight and he bullies people. Um, he's got decent hands. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but man, it takes an army to tackle this guy. Next at 25, just breaking into that top 25, we have Quinn Ewers, quarterback from Texas. He's a flashy guy. He can throw the ball from all arm slots. He just needs to work on his mechanics a little bit more. 24, we have Blake Fisher, the first Notre Dame tackle that we have on this list coming through here. He's the right tackle. I'm excited for Notre Dame's offense. Then we have JT Tuimoloau. Yeah, I think that's all it is. JT Tuimoloau, the edge from Ohio State. Again, a third Ohio State defensive lineman on this list. Incredible, incredible. And he's not the last. We have Xavier Worthy, a wide receiver from Texas on here. Very skinny guy, but plays like he's more than 160 pounds. He plays angry, he plays physical, and he's very shifty at the catch point as well. And then you have Michael Hall, another defensive lineman from Ohio State, inside the top 21, I guess you would have to say. All right, let's go 20 to 6, and then we'll break down our top 5. So at 20, we have Cedric Van Pran, the center from Georgia. Mason Smith, the interior defensive lineman from LSU. Oronde Gadsden, the second tight end from Syracuse, plays like a big slot. He's very physical. Can play outside at the X receiver as well if you need him to. Denzel Burke, cornerback from Ohio State, very physical man corner. Jeremiah Trotter, the linebacker from Clemson. Cam Ward, quarterback from Washington State. Think of what Jalen Hurts was when he first came out, with a little bit more arm talent, honestly. Andrew Makuba, best safety in this class from Clemson, I would say. Best free safety, single high safety in this class from Clemson. Then we have Travion Henderson, the RB from Ohio State. My RB1 is ranked number 13 in this class. I think he's going to pick up and do what he did. He's going to replicate his freshman season and not his sophomore season. Because remember, last season he didn't look that great, but he was playing through an injury. Then we have Kamari Lassiter, the cornerback from Georgia. He's smaller, undersized corner, but he plays mean, plays tough, and he's a very versatile corner. Then you have Emeka Egbuka, the wide receiver from Ohio State. And again, not the last Ohio State wide receiver we'll see on this list. Finally, we've got Joe Alt, the left tackle for Notre Dame on this list. Again, that's my number 1 tackle in this class, coming in at number 10. Then we have Dallas Turner, the edge from Alabama, just edged out by Jared Verse, the edge from Florida State. And I apologize, Joe Alt was not my OT1. I actually have Olu Fashanu. I didn't have him under here as a offensive tackle. That's my mistake. But Olu Fashanu from Penn State, he's right here on this picture. He came back from last year. Last year he was probably a first-round pick. This year he's probably a top 10 pick. And then our last corner on this is Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback from Alabama. Think of what Sauce Gardner was 2 years ago. That's kind of the corner that I expect Kool-Aid McKinstry to be. Mean, physical, versatile, press man corner is probably his best strength. All right. Now we're going to Javon Bullard, the safety from Georgia. We just talked about him last week. He's 5'11", 180 pounds, and he has really elite instincts, zone specialist. And sometimes when he plays man down in the slot, he looks great. Other times he looks lost. So he's probably going to play back in cover 2 schemes, cover 3s, maybe play a robber role. But he's better off the further away from the line of scrimmage he is. He's a ball hawk. Let him track and let him go get that thing. He's also a pretty good tackler, and he's got fluid hips, and that's why I think his man coverage skills can improve, and he can play down in the slot. But to start out, we're going to play him deep, okay? Now going to number 4. I debated moving this guy up, and I kind of regret in this chart not moving him up to number 3. It's Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. He's a big body receiver, but he's not just that. He's an average blocker. I think he's going to be okay at the NFL level. You're not going to want to put him one-on-one against the defensive end or anything like that. But double teaming or wham blocking, he does that well. He takes jet sweeps really well. He's done that well at Georgia. He's a good H-back. They have him. I heard in the spring camp and in the summer camp that they're doing right now, they're having him line up as running back a little bit. I don't know if that's in two back packages, but he's an offensive playmaker. He's a yak machine. He is tight end one, and I think I need to retroactively move him to the number 3 guy on this list, and then our number 3 guy, who we're going to move to number 2, or excuse me, number 3, we're going to move to number 4, is Drake May, quarterback out of UNC, 6'4", 220 pounds. He's got really good accuracy, enough mobility. Think Joe Burrow, think C.J. Stroud, think Trevor Lawrence, those kind of guys where you don't think of them as run-first quarterbacks, but they can move if they have to. He can make all the throws. He's a playmaker. I just want his footwork to improve, and I want his lower body mechanics to improve. His pocket presence needs to be improved as well, but I'm not sure how much that can actually improve. He kind of doesn't feel pressure on his backside or anything like that. But, again, a really good quarterback nonetheless. Going to number 2, Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver from Ohio State. I debated putting him as number 1. I didn't. We'll see how this year goes. I didn't put him as number 1, but he could be a number. I think in a lot of people's lists, you'll see him at number 1, and I don't blame them. He's a 6'4", 205 pounds. He was ready 2 years ago to be an NFL wide receiver. I think 2 years ago he would have been a first-round pick if he was allowed to, as a true freshman. He's already a refined route runner. He already runs 4.4, like low 4.4 speeds. He's got the long arms, long reach, big body, great hands, contested catching, spectacular catching, body control. He's got everything you want. I honestly cannot find a flaw in his game. To be 100% honest with you guys and transparent, and I like finding flaws in these guys' games because, again, there's stuff they need to improve on. I can't find one on his game. He doesn't run in the 4.3s. That's the flaw I found in his game. I mean, he's only 205 pounds. He's not 215. He's not rocked up. Like, I can't find a flaw. He runs phenomenal routes. He understands release packages, understands leverage on corners. He's got great body control, knows exactly where the sticks are, where the out of bounds is, can make great plays. The one play he didn't make is because he was getting rocked, and it probably should have been a targeting call in the college football playoffs, and it took him out of the game. Like, I can't find anything. So, honestly, he should probably be number 1. I have him as number 2. Sorry, he probably should be number 1. And then our number 1 guy, we have Caleb Williams, the quarterback from USC, 6'1", 215 pounds. Being compared to Patrick Mahomes, I don't want to compare him to Patrick Mahomes because Mahomes is arguably the most talented quarterback of all time. Not the greatest quarterback of all time, most talented quarterback of all time. He's got the best arm talent in the class, and it's not close. He's got good athleticism. I don't want to say great athleticism, but he can make the off-platform throws, off-script plays. He rolls out of the pocket. He doesn't use his athleticism to run for first downs. Instead, he uses it to extend plays and get his receivers open. I love that about him. The only negative I really have with him is that sometimes he's too cocky, trusts his arm too much, which can you blame him? He's got a great arm, trusts his receivers too much, and throws it into double coverage or very, very tight coverage sometimes. Okay, that's fine. I don't really blame him too much for that. Let's hone it back a little bit, but I would rather have a quarterback taking risks, pushing the ball downfield, and pushing it into territories unknown than a guy that's afraid to throw the ball that I have to kind of push him into making more throws and being quicker with his decision making. Instead, Caleb Williams is a guy, let's kind of ease it back just a little bit. It's easier to ease back a quarterback than it is to push one forward to try to do that stuff. So I think he's NFL ready. I really do. I think him and maybe Bo Nix and Michael Penix are probably the only pro-ready quarterbacks in this class right now. There's other guys that are better quarterbacks than Bo Nix and Michael Penix, but pro-ready quarterbacks, it's Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix. That's my analysis right now. We'll see as the year progresses, but that's how I am reading the situation right now. So we had to leave some guys off this list. If you feel like there was someone that was spited and left off this list or someone that we haven't gone over in the entire summer scouting series, go ahead and put them down in the comment section below and make sure that we are aware of them so we can watch them during the season and then we can put our analysis on them that time. So go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy this. And again, I will see you guys on Monday or Tuesday. It might be Tuesday because I'm going on vacation this weekend. Might come out on Tuesday, but I'm going to try to push it for Monday, and we will talk about the NFL power rankings that I'm putting out, preseason NFL power rankings. So have a good day, guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Peace.